Hey there, everybody. I'm Rick. Welcome to Habnormals. So this week, and by the way, I'll start off by saying I apologize for last week. I was not able to do the show, so I'm gonna kind of mix in a little bit from last week. That is my 3 stars and the games that I talk about. I'm gonna mix that in really quickly to go over that, and then, as you notice, down over there, look who's back.
Hi, everybody.
Matt's back, so we're gonna then go from me just going quickly over last week to we're gonna cover the games that just happened this week. We're recording on Sunday, so all the games that just happened this week, not Sunday's game because it hasn't happened yet. So there's that. And then we got a few topics to talk about. One of the topics we're going to talk about is something that's going on right now. There was a really good article about Oliver Kapanen in the Athletic. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Slafkovsky and how we feel about his progression. We're going to do a little bit of talk about Dobish and the Habs being back on track. And that's what we're going to cover this week. And that is all right here. It's a long way to say right here at Habnormal starts now. All right. So this week has been actually not bad so far, right? They are 2-1 this week so far. I guess for this week because I don't always include Sunday. We go Sunday to Saturday, so yeah, they're 2-1 this week. So it's been decent with a not a great loss to Ottawa. The previous week we had a horrible loss as well. So we're gonna go over that quickly. Matt's going to add what he can. I'm going to add what I can because I'll tell you the truth, talking about last week's games, and now we're going 2 weeks back. I remember some of it, but not all of it. All right, let's bring it up. And we'll go here. All right, so 2 weeks ago, the Habs played the Mammoth on Wednesday. They had a Friday game against Vegas and a Saturday. These were afternoon games, by the way. The Vegas was a Friday afternoon game and a Saturday afternoon game in Colorado. They beat Utah. If I'm correct, they opened the scoring and then gave up the next 3, something like that. They had a 2-0 lead and then gave up 3 goals and then came back. That's what in my head is what happened. If not, Matt, do you remember the Utah game? It was late. I doubt you watched that game.
That no, I was with you on it because I had Thanksgiving off, American Thanksgiving off, so I was on stream with you.
Oh, that was the game. Oh, I forgot. That's see how much I totally forgot.
Yep, that was a comeback game.
Yeah, it was a comeback. I got that right though, right? They scored the first 2, gave up 3.
Yep,
and then came back with 2 more. Well, 2 more because it didn't go to overtime. All right. Well, now that I know where I am, Earth to Rick. All right, so it was a 4-3 win. I had predicted a win. For Matt, that was his first game like back in a while, so he didn't make any predictions here. Friday's game in Vegas, Matt had something previously planned for. It was Thanksgiving weekend there. It was a weird Friday afternoon game. That I'll tell you something. I didn't think anybody would join me to watch that on the stream, and it was a pretty good showing. As far as
a pretty dominant performance, all things considered, really.
And it was a dominant performance over Vegas. They won 4-1. At one point, I think it was a 4-0 lead. It was looking like maybe a shutout, and Vegas got one. Not enough for respectability for the game, but Vegas got one, so they were on the board. So I predicted a win there, so I'm 2-0 there. Saturday against Colorado, don't even really want to talk about that game. That was the total opposite of Friday.
But Colorado does that to everybody now.
So. But it is Colorado, so you can just forget about that game. It's really what's best. But it was the opposite of the Friday game where Montreal was the dominant team. Colorado totally outclassed us. on Saturday. No doubt. It was one of those tests where, Montreal could see what they need to do to get into that kind of class, right? It shows you where you're at. And they got some work to do still to be where Colorado is at. But it did show this, even though I was going to talk about this last week, but we didn't get a chance. And I don't know if it's still a thing, but it kind of made you see how valuable for Colorado the acquisition last trade deadline of Brock Nelson was. And with Montreal kind of pondering a very similar situation, bringing in maybe Ryan O'Reilly from the Predators. And it kind of makes you think, yeah, that might be a great idea here in Montreal. I still think it is. I don't know what kind of priority it still is for Montreal is my only question on that right now. But I think for the pod 2 weeks ago, it was a high priority. I still think it's something Montreal is looking at. What do you think, Matt? You think they're still looking at that?
What, like the Colorado loss? What do you?
No. Looking at acquiring Ron O'Reilly and
I think
being
so.
a priority.
I do. No, I think they are. The issue really is, and from kind of what I've been able to gather, and kind of what I heard, is because so many, again, there's still so many teams that are so clumped together. Like no one really wants to make a move right now.
That's true too.
Like a couple game swing and that can vault teams, and again, I don't think Nashville's a playoff team regardless, but because things are tight right now, teams don't want to make a move, and I know the price for Ryan O'Reilly is still very high.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people, a lot of teams kind of looking for centers too. So like when Habs fans, because I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, I guess, in the streams, they're not too willing to pay that price. As you just said, it's a high price, but there's a lot of competition looking for a center, right? And kind of, I would think Nashville knows how much Montreal kind of needs one right now, don't you think? So, yeah, the price is high. Now the question of, is it worth paying that price right now when more than likely at trade deadline time, the price might actually go down, don't you think?
I mean, I don't think the price will go down, but I do think as, we kind of get closer to the new year, and if there's, more kind of significant separation, I think, those teams kind of in the bottom will be kind of more willing to make a move. But that's really the big thing right now. It just is, everything's so tight, especially in the East. Teams are kind of still waiting out to see kind of still how tight things get.
Yeah.
Really, no one's really kind of willing to make a move right now.
That does make a lot of sense. So I could see that being a reason. And listen, for Montreal to actually get O'Reilly out of Nashville in this situation, right? They really have to overpay. So even the price we heard might be even asking a little more, So, and Montreal's not willing to go, I guess. And we'll talk about it in just a bit, but having Oliver Kapanen at doing quite a good job at second line center, I think that helps to make it a little easier decision for right now for Montreal. All right, so just to get back to this for a second, and we're almost done here. I had it for 3 wins. It was 2 wins and a loss. I was 2-1. I came into the week at 16-5, so I end up at 18-6. That's how my record is for guessing the just wins and losses of so far this season. Let's move on to my Habs 3 stars for that week. Try to get to this quickly. Number 3 for me was Slaf. Slaf really started to play well. I think that's that week, if not a little bit before that. What do you think about that and Slaf? We're going to talk about Slaf in a minute in more detail, but
so I actually had him as my second star.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I was struggling between which I was thinking even first, but I forgot about somebody that week that specifically deserved it. But yeah, I could see that him being your. So who do you have? Did you have your stars done for the 2 weeks ago, or
Two
you're
weeks
saying
ago,
Slav
no,
for this
just this
week?
past week.
Yeah, no, I'm going 2 weeks ago. We're still at 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
So
2 weeks ago. I'm sorry.
yeah, so
Okay.
Slav was he had a goal and 2 assists. So now my second star is here. Nick Suzuki, 2 goals, 2 assists. Nick Suzuki, just steady Eddie. Um, right, even though he has sometimes he'll have a little slump here and there, but he's basically it's a good name for him, steady Eddie. He's just putting up points. Him and Caulfield, anyway. So I had Suzuki as the second. I mean, I can go into if I remembered it, could go into detail. But with Suzuki, you know that he's the second star. It's no surprise and easy to understand. First star of the week, and he had a great week, and then dropped off again. A road warrior, and that is Zach Bolduc with 2 goals and 3 assists
Yeah,
in
I agree with that.
basically 2 games. That was like 2 games output
Mm-hmm.
in a 4 game week, a 3 game week. So Zach Bolduc had a great week with Montreal. Definitely a road warrior. 11 at the point where I don't remember what points of that week. He had 11 road games and 11 points. So it was a point a game on the road, not so much at home, but you know, we need guys that score on the road and do stuff on the road too. So, yeah, we're currently in the doghouse though from Marty. I don't know the exact reason, but that's that. I have an honorable mention, and that is surprisingly to some people, I guess, Monty. Monty for the win in Vegas. Monty was
I agree
good
with that.
in Vegas. He was good in Vegas.
That he was. I mean, he was
Nothing.
dominant. That was
Yeah.
one of the best games that I've seen him play. Like just in general with the Habs since he's been
Yeah.
on the team. I mean,
Yeah.
he was spectacular.
He was just really good in Vegas. All right, let's get to my predictions. Just wins, losses for there's it's gonna show 4 games because I was gonna have this the St. Louis game in. It shouldn't have been in there though, even though because I we record on Sundays before the games would have been on. So here's how I predicted this week that just passed actually, and that is I had Tuesday with versus Ottawa a loss. Wednesday versus Winnipeg, a win. And Saturday versus Toronto, a win. So I actually went 3-0. So yeah, I go up to 21-6 because my record coming in is 18-6, and I got 3 wins. So I'm 21-6 before we make the next picks, which is coming up. So just to show you, that's it. So I'm on a hot streak at least with guessing wins and losses. Sunday's game, I've got it as a win. I'm keeping that as a win as we get into it, but we're going to get
I
into
agree with that.
that stuff right now. We're not doing that just yet. I have no overlays here for that, so we are going to go back to this for a second, and then this, and I'll make an explanation of why that thumbnail is up. That's the thumbnail I was going to use for last week, and I've been really busy today. Haven't had a chance to make the thumbnail that you're going to see when you click on this. And yeah, we're going to talk about Slafkovsky because he went to the second line, and I thought he did a really good job there. We're going to get to that. Right now, we're going to just quickly between us talk about last week's games, which is the week. It feels weird because it doesn't feel like it was last week because we're in the second game of back-to-back. That's one.
Right.
I'm not going to talk about this one, but let's go back to the Tuesday game versus Ottawa, which was not good.
No, no, it really wasn't. I mean, I don't know if they just didn't wake up for that. I mean, that game was really just a game of defensive miscues and just a lot of
Yeah,
defensive breakdowns. And sometimes teams can be hot, and if they capitalize on all those, it'll burn you, and it burnt the Canadians for sure.
Yeah, and a little revenge from Ottawa. We beat them earlier this year already, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, a little revenge there. We did that in their barn. They wanted to do it in our barn. So not surprised. The surprise was that um, they were that flat. I mean, that I don't know what else you can call it.
Yeah. No, I agree. They did.
Defensively,
They did come up quite flat.
yeah, defensively they weren't good, and yeah. So anyway, I had picked that for a loss, so I get one there. But we just went over that. Wednesday, they're still at home to Winnipeg. Um, I'm sure they got reamed out by the coach, right?
Hmm.
Uh, you know, they. I'm sure they weren't happy with the way they played. Obviously, against Ottawa, they couldn't have been happy. And we came, but they came back with a better game against another team that's kind of struggling. Like Winnipeg's not the Winnipeg of last year. They're missing Hellebuck. Like it's not the same team. They're struggling. They're still playing okay. You still have Shifley. You still got Connor there, but it was a good game by Montreal. I thought overall,
Yeah.
a win in the shootout. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah. No, I thought overall they played well. Definitely much better performance than obviously the game against the night before against Ottawa. But I will say
Yeah,
again there were some defensive miscues, which kind of led to the Winnipeg goals. But I thought they did a better job of bouncing back, and I thought they had a pretty strong third period. Ended up tying the game, and they got both points. Points are at a premium right now. So
yeah,
even though they did have to go to a shootout to ultimately win the game, they got both points. I gotta be happy with that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and they were chasing the score. Didn't wasn't it Winnipeg opened the
Yeah.
scoring? Montreal, Winnipeg, Montreal. So basically all night. So I was worried in the overtime that hopefully that pattern wouldn't continue. Um, but Montreal are overtime like warriors,
Yep.
uh, right? They're basically they're getting to overtime. They're basically going to win that game. I think they only have 3 overtime or shootout losses. And then, anyways, we ended up with a shootout win. Um, Cole Caulfield, Cole Caulfield with the first goal of the shootout, like the first shooter of the shootout, he scored, and Dobish held on. All 3 saves, and that was all that was needed was the Caulfield goal. And I mean, yeah, it was a good game. It was a good game that at points kind of looked like I thought it was in doubt whether Montreal was going to be able to win, and then they were able to. I mean, they fought to get back into it twice or to tie it up twice, and if I remember, that overtime was fun. Wasn't
Hmm.
that a really exciting
It
overtime?
was.
Yeah, that was a really exciting overtime where both teams had chances, and yeah, that was a lot of fun that overtime. Not all overtimes are like that, but that one I don't know why was really fun to watch. And then last night, because we're recording this on Sunday, we were in Toronto. So the Habs were in Toronto. And it's funny because it's a good thing I was doing my research for the game, and I saw somewhere, and it was like they're in Toronto, and I thought it was in Montreal, and it was like, oh my god, a good thing I looked at that because I would have put it up as and done the thumbnail like they're in Montreal. So they were in Toronto. They had beaten Toronto the last time 5-2, and lost to Toronto 5-2 on the opening night of the season. So who knew how it was going to go? Toronto coming off 3 wins in a row, and not having a great season overall, and Montreal coming off of a win against Winnipeg.
Sorry to cut you off there, Rick. This is just in tonight, so obviously it would be the previous night's game. So you'll be listening to this on Monday night. Sam Montembeault is out. He is sick. He has an illness. Capo Kakinen has been recalled. Dobish plays tonight. He's going to get the start in net. Just breaking news.
Wow, that's big.
It is. Yeah, I wonder what the illness is.
Shit, I have to make a note of that.
But yeah, just wanted to bring the news on. And obviously, by the time our viewers who are watching this or listening to this game would have already happened. But I do think it was kind of pretty significant.
Yeah, no, that's
we should
fine.
put it in.
Yeah, they won't see it, but that's fine. Yeah. Oh, I wonder what's wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be a fluke. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
It could be a
yeah. And
fluke.
I
Could
haven't
be
heard
anything like
anything
that.
at
But
all.
the
So.
fact that, well, obviously they had to call Kapanen enough to have a backup.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just hope
recall.
hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can get better soon.
And
But
it's an emergency recall, so no waivers involved there for
right.
Kapanen. They can call him up. Yeah, that's interesting. And now I don't remember where was I on this there what we were talking about.
You're talking about the Toronto game.
Oh yeah, the Toronto game. That was surprisingly low scoring. Right? And it looked like we were gonna end up with a 1-0 shutout because didn't Toronto get a goal kind of late in the third? In the third anyway, wasn't it? The third period goal for them?
Correct.
And it looked like we were going to get a shutout, but of course not. They tie it up late, and you knew it was there was like a couple of minutes left, right? And so you knew it was going to overtime. The overtime again, that was a fun game actually, where Toronto sometimes isn't a fun game. That was a fun game, I thought, as far as watching, even though we didn't like dominate them. But it was a fun game to watch, and the overtime was really cool. I don't remember details right now. I had a hard weekend so far. So, but we end up with a 2-1 win in a shootout. Cole Caulfield, this part to remember, opens the shootout again with a goal, but it wasn't going to be enough because our nemesis, the guy I hate the most on that team, Austin Matthews, gets one in the shootout too. And it takes a really interesting shootout goal, and it's kind of like his signature now, by Alex Texier. Now, when Texier came out for the shootout, I said, like, Texier? I had to, like, ponder Texier. Like, something wrong with Marty? Like, why is Texier out there? And then I remembered that Texier is that guy that comes in on the goalie, a little bit of stick handling, and then he's one-handed tucks it between the goalie's legs. He's done it at least 2 times that I've seen him do it. And he did it first practice here on, I don't know which goalie. He did it in practice, and he did it last night, and that ended up being the winner. So that was very interesting. That was very interesting. I was surprised though that the low scoring game. Were you?
I guess a little bit. Yeah, I would have thought that maybe a few more goals. Obviously, I did watch the game. I was actually at the Garden watching the Bruins game last night. But
yeah, I forgot about that.
But yeah, I would have thought it'd been a little more high scoring. Yeah, I did watch some highlights. I thought Caulfield's goal was kind of funny because I don't know why the Leafs left him wide open right next to a gaping cage, but we'll take that. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I'd have to go back and watch other highlights. But also, it was kind of cool. But obviously the Leafs tied the game, but Scott Laughton ripping a slap shot on the breakaway, you don't see that a lot. So thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that one was on Dobish. I thought that goal.
Yeah, he probably should have made that stop. But,
yeah, so the goal
again, right at the end of the day, we get both points. So
yeah, no complaint. Like you say, right? If he, he's not going to be perfect. During a game, he's not going to be perfect. So the fact that it was one goal, all they scored. So like he can't really complain, but that was a goal that I'm sure he'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, I think so. I would agree.
Definitely. So yeah, I was surprised the low scoring, but Montreal hasn't had more than 2 goals in a game in a little while, like 4 or 5 games. So I hope they break that trend tonight. A good game for that. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna get to we'll do the predictions for that one now. But first, the 3 stars of the week. Have you got yours? Who's your third star?
So I do. My third star of the week is Cole Caulfield.
Cole Caulfield. Yeah. 1 goal, 3 assists, and the game winner in the shootout, which doesn't count as an official goal
Right.
in the Winnipeg game. So a hell of a week for Caulfield.
Yeah, I thought he looked great, and again, right, he's just the type of player that obviously the goal scoring has ticked up a little bit recently, but he just affects the game in so many other ways. I mean, he's over a point a game guy right now, and
15 goals,
the
15 assists.
playmaking's there. Yeah, I mean,
he's that's the surprise. He's playmaking now. No one can.
I wouldn't call it a surprise. I think he's the type of player that is a great player, and he's a great player because he knows how to affect the game. If the goal scoring touches off a little bit, because he can play make, he can pass the puck.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's the surprise. There is that he's got as many assists as goals, and he's over a point a game. Like I think Caulfield can be a point a game player or more. I didn't really expect that he would be this season. And like we're a third of the way into the season, so that's a significant amount of time. And he's a little over a point a game. I think that's pretty awesome for Caulfield. So yeah, I definitely don't disagree with that pick. He's not mine for third, but third star for me was Nick Suzuki, goal and 2 assists. Like I say, Nick Suzuki just steady Eddie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's been phenomenal. Again, another player who's he's actually I think well over a point a game now.
He is like
a plus. I think he's like a plus 10 now on the season too. So he's just been amazing. He's been steady Eddie.
That's the big difference from him for his first few seasons. Last season, I believe he was a plus guy as well, but the previous ones, he's usually a minus guy.
Well, the team was also,
his team was shit. But I'm saying, but that's a big turnaround in his game too. I mean, his game's improved like anybody else. But I mean, he's just like he's as steady as they go. He is just coming off of a slumpish kind of period. So like he's had the last, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 games have been really good for him. Oh, as a matter of fact, last night's game, first game in 9 for him, that he didn't get a point. He was on an 8-game streak, I believe.
Yeah, he's had a couple of games. Like it hasn't been few and far between where he'll go on a streak like that and have like 1, maybe 2 games where he doesn't get a point, and he's back on a streak, on a streak, which is great. Because that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to players, but the fact that it's only been 1 or 2 games and then he's right back.
It's a reduction. His slumps are smaller now.
Right.
Yeah, Caulfield, by the way, had his point. Had a goal. He had an assist, I think. He had the first goal of the game, right? Yeah. So that was a 10-game streak right there. He had a 9-game streak going. He's on a 10-game point streak. Caulfield. So, yeah, really, really good. So, So, who's your number 2?
So, like I said earlier, when I thought we were talking about this past week, I have Juraj Slafkovsky as my second star. I think he's just kind of continued his momentum from 2 weeks ago. I think he's been really good. Really in all facets of the game. He's a plus player.
2 goals,
and just really, really showing that he's really learned how to use his body the right way.
He is using the body
protecting
a lot
the puck,
better.
knocking guys. Like when he goes in the corner, he's banging guys out right off the puck. Like he really kind of understands. Hey, I'm 6'4", 230 pounds. Like there's not many guys in the league that I can't just bang around.
In the Winnipeg game, there was a sequence where he had no stick on a penalty kill. I believe it was a penalty kill. He was a monster. He was a beast out there.
Oh yeah.
And then they scored on it, but it was of no fault, because not getting that out. No fault of Slaf. He was a beast out there, chasing guys down, banging them into the boards, taking them off the puck. No stick. Like that was fantastic. That's the sign of the future with Slaf. So yeah.
He had a couple of really beautiful assists too. I can't remember the specific games, but he had a couple of real nice
passes. Beautiful passes. One was an assist. One just missed. But the pass was like sublime passing. Slaf's game is definitely coming around. We're going to talk about that very shortly, as a matter of fact. My second is Cole. Cole Caulfield, goal, 3 assists, and the game winner in the shootout. Cole has been, he's also a bit streaky like Nick, a little bit, but I mean, he's been fantastic all season. The streaks don't last long if he's in a maybe a longer goal drought. Well, he makes up with it in getting assists.
His
The
defensive
last
play
5
too.
games,
He's like +6, I think, right now.
and the last 5 games going into last night's game against Toronto, but going in the 5 previous games, he had 6 assists.
Yeah.
So, like you're talking about, the guy is, if he's not scoring like a ton of goals, he is setting up goals. So he's really rounded out a game. Like a guy that came in and he's a sniper. No, he's more than a sniper. There's no doubt Cole Caulfield is. So he got my
100%.
second star. Who's your number one?
My number 1 star, Jacob Dobish. I think Jacob
Really
Dobish has
good.
done a really good job kind of getting out of that little rut he was in. And I think his last 2-3 games have been really, really good. I think he's 2-1, but especially the last 2 games, last night against Toronto and Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he definitely deserved to win the Winnipeg game. And I think I said that on stream when the game went final. I said, hey, man, he deserved that.
Yep.
He's been really good, really, really good. As long as he keep this consistent, I think he could be back, back to that form we saw last year that helped us make the playoffs. So
Yeah.
very, very, very happy with that. I know he's very happy with that. So yeah, Jacob Dobish, my first star.
I hope it keeps the consistency. That's the thing. We'll see. But I mean, I like the kid. He's playing well again, and his record is, I think he's 10-3-2.
Yeah.
This season, he's got the numbers. The numbers aren't great, but I mean, that's not just on him. That's the team in front of him a little bit on his goals against and his save percentage. But playing well again. So yeah, for me, number 1, Slaf. For everything we just said, he's been fantastic using the body. His offense is coming around. He's back on line 1, but he had a really solid stint on line 2, where you saw that he a little bit of leadership there, right? The older guy carrying the puck, looking confident away from Suzuki and Caulfield. Maturity to his game. The progression in the game is there. Again, we're going to talk about it, so I'm not going to gush there. Do you have an honorable mention?
I do. So for me, I actually have 3. Nick Suzuki is 1. Again, Steady Eddie. He's been great all year. And then 2 guys that we're going to talk about too in a little bit. Oliver Kapanen, Ivan Demidov.
Yeah.
And again, we'll go into this in a little bit, but
yeah,
I seriously think that's probably going to be the second line kind of dynamic duo. Like we talk about Caulfield, Suzuki on line 1. I think Demidov and Kapanen might end up being there for line 2. I think their chemistry is unreal. And like I said, we'll kind of go into this later, but Arpon Basu wrote a really great article, interviewed Oliver Kapanen and talked about kind of that, about his chemistry with Demidov and kind of where, where
get into that,
could, be seen in the future of this team.
We're going to get into that momentarily, actually. So my honorable mentions, and this is funny, if you look at all our guesses, and we did not guesses, our picks, we did not talk about this before. But so my honorable mention, first one, Jacob Dobish. So far we've hit them all, but not in the same order. He had the 2 wins. He's been playing really fantastic. I just saw something where he as quoted as saying how much he loves to play against Toronto. Love that.
I did. I saw that too. I'm like,
you gotta love that. And did you see him stand up for himself? You didn't watch the game. There was something there. He made a save or whatever, and there was a little bit of a. He got, like, the way he got up and then to go into the guy's face, like standing up for himself. I like that attitude. But now I know he obviously does not like Toronto either, and loves playing against them. So I have him as one of the honorable mentions, and my other one is again a duo, Kapanen and Demidov, because they played well. They didn't get a ton of points, but they did get that goal.
Or I got to see their
Winnipeg?
underlying numbers on chance creation. It's got to be up there.
Oh,
'Cause, I
yeah,
mean, every
and
time
they're
I
getting
see them
the
in the ozone with the puck, it's a chance. It's a chance.
yeah,
It's
and
an opportunity every
they're
time.
and they're getting the ice time now, and like, yeah, and they're playing well, and there is definite chemistry between those two guys. And now you've got line one, you got Caulfield Suzuki as a pair, you got Demidov Kapanen, and then you got Slav who can go between
That's what
the
I'm
two
saying, right?
lines.
Like that. Those five
Not
players,
bad,
it's crazy. Yeah.
you know.
And
So
now, right? Like if you want to switch up the looks too, yeah, you can maybe you move Slav down, and whatever you got to do. But it's
yeah, it gives a lot more. Like there's a lot of options there, and a lot of flexibility for the coach. So yeah, so that's 3 stars. So we're really close there. Let's get quickly for next week's games. Just wins, losses. Don't have to give scores. My record, remember, I'm at 21-6. Let's see how I'll do for next week in the show. So we got Sunday, which is today as we're recording, St. Louis. We already know I picked it as a win. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with a win too. I think it's a very winnable game.
Yeah.
Bennington hasn't been good. The Blues in general really haven't been that good. So
And
I
now
think
that
the
Dobish
Canadians
is
should
in
be able to.
net, if he's not tired, if that's not a problem, I'm a lot more confident in that as well, right?
Right. Yeah,
So,
no, I mean if he's not tired, I think Dobish is should get the win tonight over Bennington.
and they both played yesterday, so there's no
Right.
one team is not tired and one is. Okay, so Tuesday versus Tampa. I have that as a loss.
I'm tempted. I'd probably go loss too. There, it's gonna be a real tough game. Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but that's gonna be a pretty tough game.
They can't win them all, and I feel that's one they won't win.
Mhm.
Just a team, and Tampa. I mean, I don't think we have a great record against Tampa, if I'm correct. Tampa
No, we do
kind of
not.
beats us, right? So I kind of think, yeah, that's where I could see them having a win. I lost this week. All right, next is Pittsburgh. This time, and Montreal's playing Pittsburgh 3 times in 2 weeks, so or maybe less than 2 weeks, but 3 times in like 6 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quick. It's weird. This time they're at Pittsburgh. They're going to be there twice, and one is in Montreal. I'm going to give that Pittsburgh game a win for Montreal.
Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, it's a game. Honestly, I could see going either way, and I'm not gonna cop out and say like OT win, OT loss, whatever. But I'm gonna go with the win too. Again, I think the Canadians should be able to ride this kind of little wave of momentum they have, and even if they do get beat by Tampa, I think they're pretty kind of mentally tough, so that'll go
Yeah, I'm
get
not worried
flushed
about
right down the drain, and
Yeah.
I could definitely, and especially with the Habs speed, I think they can really use that to their advantage against quite frankly, I think they are the oldest team in the league in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So
And Pittsburgh, where they're starting to come back down to earth a little bit. So, yeah, I think we're gonna maybe sweep them in those 3 games. We'll see. But for this one, win. Saturday, they are in New York to face the Rangers. I'm gonna give that one a win as well.
I'm gonna go with a win. The Rangers, I think, have only won 2 games at home this season. So
Yeah, that's another
they play like crap in the Gardens. So.
Yeah, they do this year. I don't. What is it with this season?
I'm gonna go with a win.
Yeah, so I wasn't even thinking of that for the reason for the win, but that's a good reason. So yeah, so I have them going 3 wins, 1 loss. We'll see if I'm right. Yeah, right. So far, been pretty good at it, but we'll see if this is the week that screws me up. You never know. You won't even really see us take a break here, but before we do that, gotta let you guys all know this here. And I'm just going to go here. So we're having a December promotion at the merch store where you can get 75% off any mug that you choose on all orders, $75 or more. Use the code ChristmasMug75. You can get that. It's actually a New Year's mug. You can get that one there. Just go to the link that's written there, or you can use the QR code that's right above me. That'll take you right there. And at the store, you can get different things. Let me just get to it right here. So one of the things you can get, and you might not know that, but this is a phone cover. I got one for my phone. They're for different phones. You'd have to send me your phone model, and then I can tell you if we have it. But then there's hats. Matt's not wearing the one he has, and I got my mug here. That's Talking Habs mug, and it's a Hab Normals podcast mug as well. The hat is a Hab Normals, and then the T-shirt. You can get these from me. Whoops, you can get these from me, but you can also get them at the store.
Mhm.
So they're available there, but they're available here if you want one from me. It doesn't have the sleeve logo. One at the store does, and you can just email me. The email's in the description, and I'll tell you how to do that. And that's all the ads for now. We'll be right back as we take a break, and you probably hardly you'll notice it, but we'll be in different positions. Probably you go, what the hell? It's because we took a quick break. All right, so we're back from our little break. We are going to talk about two different things. We're running out a little bit out of time. We got a game soon. We're gonna discuss whether Oliver Kapanen uh, is the 2C, like, for now. Are they going to go out and trade for somebody and move him off that role, and then leave Demidov as the second line winger? So that's part of the equation, and that's at least till the trade deadline. And is the thoughts of the Ryan O'Reilly deal off the board for Montreal right now, and probably maybe even Gazette off the board for Nashville right now? That we're going to talk about that first. Then we're going to get to the Slafkovsky talk and just talk about how we feel about how he's progressing right now and how he's doing. So I'll let you start off there with the Kapanen stuff, because well, we both read the article, so I did read it. How do you feel about that with Kapanen? Is he? Do you feel they have the confidence in him right now to, if they cannot find a second line center, and listen, chances are that they can't, right? Maybe at the deadline, but maybe not till the deadline anyway, right?
Mhm.
I do feel that they're confident in him in that role.
I think for the time being, yeah. Because I think it's undeniable the chemistry that he has with Ivan Demidov, and I think he's kind of earned it. I think Kapanen's been very good this season. Still a very young player, but I think he's a mature player, and you know the article talks about how um he might maybe a rookie now, but he's got like 4 years of professional hockey already under his belt, from playing in Europe. So I think that that experience has really kind of helped him kind of get to where he is now. And yeah, I mean, I think definitely for the time being, I can't see them not, giving him a really really long look there for now. And maybe they do find a trade. Who knows? But he's also kind of guy that can play the wing. So even if they do trade for a center, I could see him maybe on the wing spot on the second line.
Yeah, like if they bring in a guy, yeah, because I mean that side right now, who's playing there right now with Slav on line one? It is, oh yeah, Texier. I mean Texier, I'm sorry, not ideal
No.
to be as and if they're not going to put Bolduc there, then yeah, you bring in a center. That might be the way they do it, is bring in a guy like O'Reilly and you move Kapanen to the wing, so there's still the Demidov Kapanen chemistry on that line.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna break those two up. I don't see how
Yeah.
you can.
No, I'm already thinking of them the way you think of Caulfield and Suzuki, where you're not breaking those two guys up. You may switch the winger on the other side here and there and do that, but you're not breaking up Caulfield and Suzuki. I wouldn't do it anyway. So I see them that in that way, right? Having Demidov and Kapanen together, because that chemistry is clearly there.
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
clearly there. Like we were talking about this before. He says it in the article, one of the points of the article. Kapanen knows where Demidov is gonna look to pass to. So he knows where to be on the ice. He's figuring it out. How he knows, that's the unknown, right? How do they know these things? That's the chemistry. But it's clearly there because
100%.
was that on the goal that he was talking about where he knew where to be, or it was a good chance they had? I don't.
That was the goal.
It was a goal. You
Yeah.
explain it better than me. You explain it.
Yeah, no, so it was the goal. I think it was the goal that tied the game at 2 against Winnipeg. And
Yeah.
basically the second Demidov went in with Morrissey in the corner, Kapanen knew right away, all right, he's gonna win the puck battle. I need to be here because that's where he's gonna look to pass the puck to. So he, boom, made a beeline there, and nobody picked him up, and the goal went in. And having that kind of sense already of, all right, the second he knew Demidov went into the puck, into a puck battle, he goes, all right, he's winning that. I need to get there now because that's where he's going to look. To be on that kind of level is insane.
Yeah, because if you bring in another guy, no, this is what I want to say. A player like Demidov is kind of unpredictable. I mean, that's what makes him successful, right? You don't know if you have a guy on your team who can figure out where he needs to be. I mean, you're way ahead of the curve, right?
Oh, yeah.
So do you want to take that guy away from Demidov? No, I don't see how you're going to do that.
No, you can't.
It wouldn't make sense even to do that when you got a guy like Demidov and you have a guy who can read him. It's like, wow, that's amazing, and they're both as young as they are. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I kind of see it that my kind of rush when I started talking about Ryan O'Reilly again, because I had mentioned him in a video a few months ago, is gone. I don't feel the rush for it, the need for that right away. It would be very helpful for the veteran leadership. Yeah, but as far as for the guy who's at the second line center position right now, I have a lot more confidence. He's fifth in the Calder race, so he's performing. Considering the age and everything, I think if Kapanen was in that second line center position, didn't have Demidov as a winger, we wouldn't see the same thing. I don't think he'd be in the Calder race. As much as I think this kid's got a really great future, but it's that combination of the two players together that works so well. Mm-hmm. You can't break that up.
No, you can't.
In my opinion, you can't break that up. So I think Ryan O'Reilly talk, unless, there's no need to overpay right now to bring him in early, right? There's no need to overpay to bring a guy in right now necessarily. Unless things really go off the rails again, I don't see why, because there's potential here right now that maybe they got it figured out and we won't have another 7 losses in 8 games situation happening, because that second line has to be solidified. Mm-hmm. And it kind of is right now. Kind of is.
Yeah. No, I think so. Like I said, if anything, maybe if you Ryan O'Reilly does end up becoming available, make a play for it. Yeah, just put Kapanen on the other wing. But again, it's kind of like we talked about, right? You're not breaking up Suzuki and Caulfield. I think on the second line, you can't bring up Kapanen and Demidov.
You're not. No, Kapanen and Demidov are very quickly becoming a pair that you don't break up. Unless there's a string of games, something happens and whatever, it changes. But I mean, the fact that he knows where to be, and so he knows what Demidov is thinking and where, what his instincts are going to tell him. And if you're there already in place, you're ahead of the game so much. So there's 100%. A good future for these two guys. So yeah. So anyways, if you haven't read the article that we're talking about, it's by Arpin Basu of The Athletic. It's basically kind of talking up Kapanen and what his strengths are and, what his upside is. And he's got a really solid upside. And I think you made the point before. You're talking about these two kids. They're young, yes, but both of them have professional experience. More so for Kapanen. He's played a few years in Sweden for Timra, I think it is Timra, and playing like in top line minutes against men as a teenager. So he's coming in here as, how old is he? 19? 20? I'm not
20 or
sure.
21.
So, but still, even as a 20 or 21-year-old, he's still young, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
he's coming in here as a more experienced 20 or 21-year-old that you normally come across. So his potential for me to handling the 2C role, at least until the trade deadline, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I think that's what they're going to do. I really do. I don't think there's going to be a center available that's cheap or affordable, really, unless you're willing to overpay. But maybe it's not the time to overpay yet. To bring when you have somebody like Kapanen, because you never know. Like another 30 games down the road, that's another 30 games experience he's got. He may be even that much better. Like, right, he's going to get better. And he could start showing that already. And, so, yeah, I think they're going to be patient here. And they're only going to pull the trigger when they need to. Besides, we were talking about it before. And one of the things holding up a deal like that for O'Reilly is the fact that the parity in the league is such that so many teams are still in the race, are still in the playoff race. So
100%.
Teams are going to be reluctant, even though Nashville's not in it really. There's still teams are going to be reluctant to move guys and to make changes necessarily right now, especially when, I mean, for centers, everybody's looking for a center pretty much. So the competition to get them is going to be tough. You're going to have to pay a high price. I think maybe you wait a little bit.
Yeah, it very well could be.
And it's because of Kapanen. I mean, if you didn't have Kapanen there, like if it's Owen Beck we're talking about, I don't feel confident would have the same talk. If it's Zachary Bolduc, who I was talking up that way, possibly being the second line center instead of Kirby Dach, yeah, I am not as confident in that guy, but I'm kind of confident in Kapanen right now. And Doc's going to be back soon. I don't know if he'll go back into that spot or not. But Doc is looking. He should be back relatively soon. He's skating already, so he's going to be back soon. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, I don't think they're going to put Doc in there unless they move Kapanen again to the wing, put Doc there. But I kind of think when Doc got hurt, he was playing the wing on that line.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the answer to the winger is to put Doc there when he's back. And keep those two kids together and see how that goes. We didn't get much time there with Doc on the wing with them, right? He got hurt in the first game, didn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I think it was looking good, but then he got hurt. So we'll have to see how that looks because that could be a solution right there. Anyway, that's our thoughts on Oliver Kapanen as the 2C and then maybe delaying on bringing in like a Ryan O'Reilly. Let us know in the comments, though, because this one's important. We'd like to hear how you guys feel about that. Do you want to see them make a move right now, or are you patient enough? And do you feel they'll be patient and wait it out a little bit with Kapanen? So let us know in the comment section. Please do that. And while we're doing that, give a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and new to the show, subscribe if you haven't already. We'd appreciate that. All right, let's move on to the last one that we got here. And that is, because we're running out of time, is Juraj Slafkovsky. Slav has been playing way better. If not offensively, although the numbers are starting to get better. My dog wants to get part of the conversation. I may have to yell at her. Hang on, you take over. All right, I think I got her. Stop arguing. So Slav has been playing a lot better. He's progressing. So we're just kind of, are you guys happy? I'll talk over her. Are you guys happy with his progression? So let us know again in the comment section how you feel about Slaf and his progression. Matt, how do you feel about it?
I'm very happy with it. I know the points aren't quite there yet. Excuse me, but watching the games, watching the way that he's using his body now, like you kind of realize, yeah, I'm 6'4", 225 pounds. I can move guys around, and the fact that he kind of realizes that now, and he's doing that, and he's being effective doing that, just allows him to make better plays. And I think, and I've said this for a while, I think he's one of the most underrated passers in the league. And the fact that he's using his body so effectively now to get the puck. I mean, he's diming up guys left and right with really, really good passes.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing with confidence, like his confidence level. And I heard somebody, what was the comment? You can see his reaction time where he's not hesitant. Like
Right.
he's processing everything better and he's reacting faster. And that's causing a lot of his success. And I just can't get over, though, that without the stick, to play without the stick against Winnipeg, even though Winnipeg got a goal, still, he was a beast. That's a guy that is starting to understand how to use the big frame that he's got, So we need to see more Slaf like that. I think we are. But it's not just that. I mean, when they put him with Demidov and Kapanen, in a bit of a leadership role there because he's the older guy. He's been around a few years. They're rookies. He carried the puck a lot more. He said he liked it. And he liked the fact that they did have some chemistry, and he'd like to see more of that happen. So now you got a guy in Slaf that can move back and forth, depending on your situation or maybe even the team that you're up against, and he can play first or second line.
Mm-hmm.
With Doc coming back soon, it takes care of another top six winger, because we've seen Doc play top six wing before. As long as he comes back and now he's confident in his foot, it was a fractured foot. It's not like the ACL, MCL with the knee. So he should come back looking the way he was before. I think, having a Slaf that looks improved like that, the quality of the top six is ramped up a little bit, right? And as far as his progression, fans have been very impatient with him, right? But when the Habs drafted him, they said they really drafted him for when he's 25. Because at 25, they felt that he would be the player that they see in him, right? Hitting his ceiling and being that power forward that can score but can play a fuller game, And he's ramping up into that already. I don't know, how old is he now? 22? I think, Slaf?
21.
He's still only 21?
I believe so.
So personally, I think he's ahead of the curve as far as the progression, especially when they said by 25, which is when you judge a player if he's a bust or not, that he would be there. He's definitely on the way, well along. I think the team is very happy with him. I hope the fans are starting to recognize how this kid's game has developed. And I just not a player I wanted. I mean, really, I didn't want them to draft him. From that guy to who he is today is such a huge difference, how he's played over the last 2-3 seasons, the frustrations we've had in his game and what we're seeing now. And it's not perfect. He's not there yet, but you can really see the potential in this kid now, if you didn't before, right?
Absolutely.
So Matt's not talkative, so something's going on. I think he's got something going on there.
I'm talking.
I'm just bugging you now. He turned the camera off because who's under the desk there?
Oh, no one. Oh my god. I had a gutter.
I just bug you.
I had a yawn. I don't like to yawn on camera.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just having fun with you. So anyway, so for Slaf, let us know in the comments because we're running out of time. So we're going to be taking off in a minute. What do you think of how he's developing right now? Where he's at? Do you think he can hit a ceiling? Are you still frustrated with him? Those kind of questions. Let us know in the comment section because I'm curious how you guys out there feel about him and how it's going. So you can tell from me, I am very pleased with him. All right, so we'll be back next week because we're going to take off here because we've got a game in an hour, and I got stuff to do in the next hour, so we got to cut it short a little bit. We'll be back next week, as usual, with whatever news of the day is happening, and do our review of the last week's games, and the 3 stars and all that stuff as normal. And that's all I got. You got anything to add before we?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Go Habs, go! See you in the next one.
Yeah. All right. That'll take us out here. Thanks everybody for watching. Till next time. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And I have no thumbnail to put up as we go out because I didn't make it yet. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week. And go Habs, go.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.